Hi DVC fan, Paul and Amy here, and we are going to take you on our Disney date night. We are heading to California Grill up at the top of the Contemporary, and before that we're actually going to go over on the monorail to Grand Floridian and check out Enchanted Rose tonight.
Because it's your birthday.
I was leaving that part out.
Whenever this goes up, her birthday will have happened probably a couple weeks ago or something of that sort. But this is the first time we are going back to California Grill since the pandemic.
2020, yeah, we haven't been here since July of 2020.
Yeah.
So 4 years, 5 years.
And for so many years, it was our favorite restaurant here at Walt Disney World. Mm-hmm. And I am concerned. I'm worried.
We haven't been here since it turned into a prefix menu.
Yeah, so I'm still upset that the brunch is gone forever, it seems.
Yeah,
but
that was the best.
They've still got a good menu. It is prefix, so we're going in with some guarded expectations, but we're excited to just kind of go around tonight and have a good
and we have a reservation at 7:15 and the fireworks are 9:15 around that time, so we're planning on staying for the fireworks, so that'll be fun.
So it should be a fun night, and we'll bring you along and let you know what we think. As always, this and all of our DVC fan content is brought to you by the world of DVC. DVC Resale Market, if you're looking to buy or sell a Disney Vacation Club contract, Monera Financial, who can help with financing that contract purchase, and the DVC Rental Store, where you can try before you buy, rent out some points, or rent your own points. We've made it to the Grand Floridian on the monorail, and this is the first time we've been to Enchanted Rose and gotten a seat like right next to the window where we can actually, you can't see it that well right now at the moment. But
so when we were on the monorail going from the Polynesian to the Grand Floridian, Paul took some footage of the new tower, and right after he passes the tower, there was a really pretty rainbow, which you can see in the video. And I said this earlier, the best thing about the monorail system is that we are able to go from the Contemporary to the Grand Floridian, get drinks. Even if it rains, we can still get back to dinner without, getting out into the weather. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. For drinks, we are just having, I had the seasonal old fashioned. That's kind of like my go-to here. Ever since we came here, one of the first times, and they had kind of their Christmas variation with rosemary and cranberries in it. It was just kind of the drink that I get whenever we come to Enchanted Rose. And then Amy's kind of...
Yeah, I normally get mocktails here, so I don't even know if I've had a cocktail here before. I normally do the B&B or the rosemary cooler, which are non-alcoholic. I decided to get a cocktail and I asked for recommendations. I don't like strong cocktails, so I'm going to do the Island Rose, which is Kettle One botanical, grapefruit and rose, vodka, lime, almond, something, I don't know, pineapple bitters, rose water. So I'm going to try it out. It looks like the presentation is going to be really cool based on like the little cartoon drawing there. So we'll see.
On our way over on the monorail, we were driving by the Polynesian, and you said something that I think we have said before on this show, but that just kind of resonates, which is that it's weird to actually get off at these stops. It's weird to actually come into these resorts coming from... So we are going to California Grill. The first time we ever went to California Grill was Amy's first trip, like first real full trip to Disney World. And we got off the airplane, had a shirt and change of clothes in our backpack.
Right.
We
went to Magic Kingdom the whole day. They let us get on the bus for the Contemporary back then. That was back when they moved your luggage, even though we were going to French Quarter. And we went to Magic Kingdom all day, didn't even go to the resort. And then we came to California Grill. I told Paul, I said, I forgot to put my deodorant in my backpack. And when I changed and put my nice clothes on, and after we've been in the park all day, I was like, oh my goodness, I need some deodorant. And my only option was that I scrubbed myself with this hand soap in the Contemporary bathroom. So we've come a long way since then, Paul.
Come a long way since those days. But we ate at California Grill that trip. I think we were on the dining plan, weren't we?
Yes, we were, yeah. And I just remember like when we would pull up to the Polynesian on the monorail and the Grand Floridian on the monorail, it just felt so like I'm going to need to win the lottery, but someday I'm going to win that lottery and stay there.
And like I said earlier, it almost felt like you couldn't get off the monorail and go into those resorts.
Yeah, like I'm not worthy.
I didn't feel worthy to go into those places. And now here we are. We own at both of these places.
Right.
I told Amy on the monorail.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, our largest single contract is at Polynesian now, and then we own points here at the Grand Floridian as well. So you just got to buy some Bailey Tower and complete the loop, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And we're staying at Boardwalk tonight for my birthday.
Yeah.
This is my second birthday in a row we've stayed at Boardwalk.
So we're going to enjoy some drinks, and we'll let you know what we think and take you along the monorail loop as we work our way back around to the Contemporary for dinner. Drinks have arrived, and I'm pleased as always. The seasonal old fashioned that they have here has Widow Jane 10-year straight bourbon, house-made seasonal syrup, and bitters. It doesn't look like there's anything special for this season, which I guess would be summer. It's basically just like a traditional old fashioned. I'd be really curious to see if they're going to do anything kind of around the fall season. I've seen around property several different places, little signs up at bars about like a specialty cocktail for Halloween. So it'd be cool to maybe kind of have some sort of fall. I don't know. I'm like full fall mode already.
Do you remember we went to Geyser Point last year and had their fall margarita flight?
Yes.
And the green apple one with the caramel dripping down the side? That was amazing. So yeah.
It's just wild to think that was a year ago. That's the main thing.
I got the Island Rose. I didn't drink it all yet. Awesome. So I wanted something that was not too strong on the alcohol. You can't even really taste it. It's very fresh pineapple flavor. I love drinks that have mint in them, just mint leaves. I think that's a really great layer of flavor there. You can taste the grapefruit a little bit, but not enough that it's bitter. So really a great drink. That one's $18. The old fashioned's very expensive. It's $26.50. Paul loves it though, and we don't come and get it very often. You know, drinks here, we are at a Disney resort, we're at a Disney Deluxe resort. It's a very nice lounge, so they are a little bit on the expensive side in terms of the drinks.
Yeah. We also decided to grab a little bit of a snack while we were here as well. So we went with the smoked trout and crab dip. It has salmon roe, chive oil, sesame seed, lavash.
I think that's what we dip in it, maybe, I don't know. But
$16, and it has not arrived yet, but we'll be able to...
In the past, we've actually come here and had a dinner on the snacks that are here. The menu has changed quite a bit since then. They got rid of a lot of the things that we really love. Those sliders that they used to have are gone. The flatbread is different, but now it's a seasonal flatbread, so it looks like they changed it a lot. But the crab and trout dip is new. The hummus is new. There's croquettes. Those are new since we've been here last. Charcuterie. They have a caviar, a 1 ounce of caviar for $120. I'm not a caviar
I
person.
told her it's her birthday. We could have
No,
scored.
no, 1 ounce. Yeah, no, we're not we're not that fancy
No.
at all. But
More like corn dog.
if you would order that, just let me know what you think because yeah, we eat caviar when it comes with something. For example, when we went to Victoria and Albert's, it came with one of the dishes, just a tiny little bit. Anyway, but the truffle fries are still on the menu. Those are like a tried and true favorite. Very good. But yeah, I'm excited to try this trout and crab dip.
The big thing worth noting is that all of the food here in Enchanted Rose is coming out of the Citrico's kitchen, which if you didn't watch Jeff and Amy's date night video where they ate at Citrico's, he proclaimed, I believe, that was probably the best dinner on property that he has
I
had.
have to watch that.
In
You
a
just
year.
published it today.
I just published it today, so Amy's not watching it. She just hasn't seen it yet. But I edited and got it out there today. But he raves about his meal that he had there, and they absolutely had a wonderful time. So definitely check out that video. But if you are looking for a quick bite to eat, come to Enchanted Rose where you can kind of snack on the same menu. Fun little tidbit if you're at the Grand Floridian, Sandy Cove's Gifts and Sundries. Did I say that right?
Yes, yeah.
Historically, that has been where all of the DVC merch has been at the Grand Floridian, but it is now across the way at Curiouser Clothiers. I think I said that right. I call it the fancy shop, but that is where all of your Disney Vacation Club merch is now at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason we really come down to the stores is like to see.
Yeah.
What?
They have the piano player tonight, and when we walked in the Grand Floridian, he was playing Total Eclipse of the Heart, which I thought was kind of cool. So now he's just playing some classical stuff, but
Just some classical stuff. We have found our way back to the where are we?
we're at the Contemporary.
Resort. That's it.
Well, okay, so a lot of people don't know this. You started saying grand, but the area of the Contemporary that has the really tall Mary Blair artwork and Chef Mickey's and that main area is called the Grand Canyon Concourse.
That's exactly what I meant to say.
Yeah, sure.
Totally what I meant to say. We are on the floor where you check in for California Grill. So you check in on, I believe it would be like the second level, and then they will take you up in the elevator to head up to your dinner reservation. We are waiting basically until the time of our reservation to check in, though, because we do want to try to be able to be up there for the fireworks and hopefully get a table where we don't have to go outside. We can just sit at the table. So we're going to make those requests when we check in tonight and see how it goes. And but there is so much like random seating on this floor.
Well, this is the conference area.
Yes, yeah.
They're the convention area. So these are the ballroom of Americas. So we're back here by some of the entrances to some of the ballrooms. So I'm pretty sure that's mostly why all this random seating is back here.
Yeah. We were having a conversation on the escalator on the way up of Disney resorts we've not stayed at or rooms that we've not stayed at that we would like to stay in. My choice was I don't know why I can't think
Incredibles.
I don't know why I can't think of the word contemporary tonight.
Yeah.
The contemporary Incredibles rooms in the A-frame, theme park view, of course.
Yeah.
So that you
Which he's dreaming because unless there's some really good annual pass discounts, for me, I want to stay at Yacht Club. And that, again, there would have to be a good annual pass discount because we're not paying cash prices for Disney Deluxe hotels. But you know what else? Because I want to be able to stay at all the Disney resorts, to be able to say I've stayed at every single resort at Disney World, I want to stay at Riverside because we haven't stayed there yet.
I really thought she was going to say All-Star Music.
And Caribbean Beach Resort, we've not stayed there. And then, so if we did Yacht Club, Riverside, Caribbean Beach, Well, I would have All Stars left.
She's saving the best for last, ladies and gentlemen.
I might skip that one. And it's not so you stayed at All Star movies
Growing up, yeah.
when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that I'm too snooty to stay at All Stars. We just did it on vacation when I was a kid. So I didn't stay anywhere. I just stayed in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Amy does not like camping or tent camping or anything like that because she did plenty of that as a child.
Right.
So that's out of the question these days. Staying in the cabins at Fort Wilderness is going to be the closest we get to camping.
Max, yeah. Though, especially that older cabin. That was my max roughing it.
We are going to head up to dinner here pretty soon, though. We may or may not film in terms of like this type of video. We may come back downstairs after everything, but we'll show you our dinner. We'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
We'll show you the fireworks. And
Just
we'll
depends
recap
on where
that.
we're sitting. We don't want to interrupt anyone's dinner, so we might
Exactly.
just film some of the food and we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Show some of the fireworks. All right, we are off to a good start. Bread service is homemade sourdough rolls, and they serve it with like a warm olive oil, tomato, garlic kind of mixture. It was very good. The butter has smoked sea salt in it. I love sourdough. They were very crusty, nice and soft on the inside, so I enjoyed the bread service. I did not want another drink since I had one at Enchanted Road, so I asked if they had any mocktails, and he said they had a really good one with lemon and blackberries, which I got. I don't really know what it was called, he didn't say, but sold me on it, and it is very good. Just very refreshing. And there's a little bit of, some carbonation, like a hint of Sprite or something as well. But I had the goat cheese ravioli as my appetizer. I've had this before. Actually, I think I've had it pretty much every dinner I've ever come to up here, even though it's been about 4 years. But it was good. The goat cheese was very silky. The mushrooms, there were mushrooms in it that were flavorful. There were these dried mushrooms on the outside. I didn't love them. They're very earthy. Kind of tastes like eating wood, but they're more for decor, so maybe, they weren't really meant to be eaten. I tried Paul's sushi. It wasn't my favorite sushi, but I think he enjoyed it, but it had some spices and things going on, so he likes that. But overall, good start. We have a really nice view. We can see the castle from our table here, so excited for the fireworks and for our entrees and dessert.
Every time Amy has the camera, I feel like she's like aiming straight up my nose or something. It just feels like it's very, very close to me. There you go. As Amy said, amazing dinner so far. I think it's exceeding expectations. It is a little louder in here. I am disappointed inside for the lack of options and the lack of, I guess, creativity or changing of the menu with the new prefix menu. But that being said, it doesn't take away from the experience, which is amazing food, amazing service, Roberto, who is our server, has been absolutely wonderful all evening. I asked about a wine to pair with the pork main entree that I'm going to have, and he brought over 2 different options, talked to me about the 2 different options, let me taste both of them, and then selected a drink to go with that main entree. I had the surf and turf sushi for my appetizer. It was wonderful, but if anyone is kind of adverse to spice, I would probably steer clear of it. There's wasabi on the plate as well as a red pepper sauce, both of which are very spicy. There is some sweetness that kind of cuts through with the sushi, but you know, both of those sauces combined, if you don't like heat, then you're not going to like this. Amy tried it, but tried to avoid some of those sauces when she did try it. Amy's goat cheese ravioli, it is the #1 staple here. It has been the staple here ever since they changed over to California Grill, essentially. The creaminess, the silkiness of the goat cheese in there, just absolutely wonderful. And I went with an old-fashioned to kind of start off the night. We also had bread service, as Amy mentioned. It is homemade sourdough bread, also served with a tomato, chive, and garlic olive oil sauce with butter and sea salt, both of which just paired perfectly with the sourdough. So the food has been absolutely amazing. Everything has been fantastic tonight so far, and looking forward to our main courses, watching some fireworks, and dessert later on.
All right, so as you can see from our plates, it was terrible. No, I'm just kidding. We really enjoyed our entrees. I even tried Paul's pork tenderloin, which is not my thing. It was so good. And the filet, I'm not usually a filet person. I find them to not be as flavorful and to be just way too thick. This one is so good. It's falling apart at the seams, basically, when you get it, which I love. It's just very tender. The sauce with it was really good. I've had this filet, this is the 3rd time I think I've had it over the course of years. And they always change it up with how it's served, how it's accompanied. And I was just telling Paul, one of my favorites was when it came with like a scalloped potato au gratin. But this accompaniments are things I wouldn't have chosen for myself. It was broccolini and fingerling potatoes. They were kind of like a smashed potato. They were way better than I expected. The potatoes had like a nice crispness, nice little bit of sea salt. The broccolini was cooked perfectly. The filet had a good like little salt crust on the top too. I got it medium rare. I forgot to have Paul take a shot of the inside of it after I cut it, but it was the most perfect medium rare steak I've had in years. So I got to tell you, it was very good.
It's hilarious when you have the camera. It's like so weird. It feels weird.
Why? I don't have the camera skills.
I don't know. Dinner was absolutely wonderful. The pork, so just for full disclosure, I have a note on my iPhone coming into this dinner. We kind of pre-plan sometimes what we're going to get, because sometimes we know we want to share different entrees, we want to try different things. So we came into the evening with the thought that I was going to get the filet of beef and Amy was going to get the scallops. But then Amy saw the scallops, and the scallops look wonderful, but kind of what they're served with is like basically just some greens, and it looks like just basically some lettuce with 3 scallops. So she decided to go with the filet of beef, and I went with the pork. The pork is, again, one of the entrees here that they are famous for. They have had on the menu for so many years. And I am so happy that Amy decided to go with the beef, because I am one to order the pork chop.
The nighttime spectacular fireworks show.
We're just doomed on filming this portion of the review. We're like 3 minutes away from Happily Ever After, so I feel like I have to be quick with this.
They're playing my music.
They're playing Amy's music, which means it's going to be starting really soon.
I love
the dinner was amazing. The pork was wonderful, very tender. There was some sweetness to it. The polenta was amazing, as well as there's a small sliver of pork belly, which probably I would say rivals what's being served in Steakhouse 71 in terms of the pork belly or the bacon and eggs, as many refer it to. So such a wonderful meal, exceeded expectations in terms of what I thought the prefix menu could be here. And we are getting ready for fireworks. You have the option where you can go out onto the terrace and watch fireworks, or you can stay inside. If you stay inside, they are going to dim the lights. We're kind of right by a window, so I think we're just going to stay inside and watch the fireworks from where we're at. And then we've got dessert planned afterwards. So the timing of this dinner was pretty perfect. So I would say if you are wanting to kind of end your meal with the fireworks, aim for a reservation around 7:15, 7:30. That's going to put you right on course. But the wait staff here, they're very mindful of when the fireworks are going to happen. I watched another table where they were starting to order, and they basically told them, hey, I'm going to probably hold your entrees because of the fireworks. And so they're very mindful of when the fireworks are happening and how they impact your meal. So tremendous experience so far. Great birthday dinner for Amy.
And they all live happily ever after. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us. And when we're brave enough,
Two seconds ago, I took a video of this, and it was beautiful. And what has happened?
I didn't know how to eat it, so it was like crunchy. So it was either gonna all fall apart. So I just started, going. Now it's like a mash. I'm sure it still tastes good.
We have finished our California grilled dinner and come out on the terrace just to kind of end our evening here. It has been an amazing meal. I will say that it exceeded my expectations. I was kind of guarded going into this because of the prefix menu. We'd not been here. We had a bad experience right after the reopening, after the pandemic here. Just wasn't kind of up to par of what we remembered California Grill, but Amy and I sat at the table a couple minutes ago. We were like, what are your top restaurants on property? This is in the top 3, if not the top 2 for sure at this point, just based off of the service, the quality of the food, and I truthfully, I would say the value. It is a little bit pricey. Overall, I think we spent somewhere around $250 tonight for both of us. That did include a couple of drinks with the meal, but overall, you could spend that anywhere on property, really.
Yeah, and honestly, for if you're looking for a nice date night out, I would definitely say California Grill. It's got the ambiance, you've got the fireworks, especially if you come, in the evening. We love Narcoossee's too. I still rank Narcoossee's as my top place.
It's like the hidden gem almost.
Yeah, and for me, that's mostly because I like seafood more, and they have a lot more seafood selection. But overall, just really great meal. Our desserts were good. Mine was interesting. The crunchy stuff was a little weird, but the cherry and chocolate, and it had really good flavor. And they brought me out a birthday dessert, and I actually loved that birthday dessert too. It was like a chocolate moussey type thing with a little bit of a crunchy cookie on the bottom. So I ate kind of 2 desserts.
I went with the lemon olive oil cake, and if you're a fan of like lemon meringue or key lime pie, this is perfectly up your alley. I got that with a French press of coffee. Do want to emphasize again, Roberto was absolutely amazing. He was our server.
Yeah.
You know, the area in which we sat tonight, so I did go up to the desk when we checked in and I basically said, first, it's Amy's birthday. Second, we would be willing to wait longer for a seat near the window facing Magic Kingdom. And we did kind of wait probably about 10 to 15 more minutes after our reservation. So they did kind of do that. And I think that the servers in that area probably are some of the best servers in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Roberto was wonderful, very attentive. You know, I mentioned earlier trying different wines and just really checking on us throughout the meal. And it is also amazing how they kind of just stop service for the fireworks and they plan accordingly. We've experienced the same thing at Narcoossee's where it's, you know, they know that this is going to happen and they don't want you to be upset about your food coming out during that period of time. So everything just stops for about 20 minutes and then it kicks back up. But good birthday?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, there are extra magic hours tonight at Magic Kingdom, and we originally were thinking that we would head over to Magic Kingdom for kind of a nightcap, I would say.
I was going to make them ride Big Thunder, but I have dress shoes on, and now I'm tired. So I think we're just going to go Boardwalk and go to sleep.
We're headed to Boardwalk for the evening.
Turning 38, too old for midnight at Magic Kingdom.
But at the same time, it's just so great to be here. I said to Amy when we were watching Happily Ever After, I said, did you think the first time that we watched Happily Ever After that one day you would be sitting here at California Grill for your birthday, watching it, having left your home this morning and been here? And so it's quite a life-changing.
It is definitely not what I would have thought, 5 years ago. So in a good way.
Yeah. So California Grill, you've got to add it to your list for your next trip down here.
And we saw somebody get engaged, right?
We did
at the beginning of Happily Ever After.
Right at the beginning,
up at California Grill. So it's definitely that level of a place. If you're looking for something special.
Yeah, and if you are planning something like that, just tell them in advance or give the restaurant a call. I know that they do something special with the ring, I believe it is. And so just let them know at the front desk when you do check in or give them a call ahead of your reservation and they'll make sure that everything is extra magical for you. But that is going to do it tonight from Magic Kingdom and the Contemporary Resort. We hope you enjoyed this kind of review and this kind of birthday date night that we went on. And if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button, subscribe to our DVC Fan YouTube channel. It does the world for us and just allows us to continue to produce more content like this for you. And for extra bonus content, head to patreon.com/DVCFan. And we thank everyone that is a Patreon sponsor for your support. But we're going to head back to Boardwalk and call it a night and then wake up tomorrow because tomorrow is the first day of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
You will have seen that video already if you're watching this one, hopefully, because that will definitely come out first because Food and Wine is kicking off. So we're going to head to bed and call it a night. And I hear the electrical water pageant starting somewhere behind me at the moment. So hope you guys have a wonderful night and we will see you for the next one.